Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio Raw Rewind for January the 22nd, 2024. I am Tyler, the pro wrestling hipster at PW Hipster on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, the pro wrestling hipster over on Facebook. Gentlemen, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves and hop right into tonight's main event.
Hello, everyone. Once again, here. I'm Eduardo Bates. I'm ready to let's talk about this Monday Night Raw show and how everything is going for the Royal Rumble.
How's it going, guys? It is Monday. You know what that means? Just kidding, wrong show. As always, I am Caesar. I'm the noob too, but I'm sitting in with these two gentlemen talking about that one thing we all talking about, and that is Monday Night Raw Pro Wrestling.
Professional wrestling.
Bruce Yates. Duh. I'm getting that out of the way now before someone else does it for me.
All right. Ring General. All right, gentlemen. So tonight's main event was Drew McIntyre taking on Damian Priest. It went about 12 minutes. Yeah, by himself. Nobody with him tonight. Out there all by his lonesome. Woo! No Dom, no Bobby, no well, not completely by his lonesome.
Don't forget.
But we will get
no Tom or Nick cereal. No Tom or Nick cereal either.
Tom or Nick, not.
If you know, you know.
Tonight. But McIntyre picks up the win in 12 minutes. Yes, like always, no cash yet. No fucking cash.
You know why? You know why this. You know why this time, at least. You know why this time. We've officially figured it out. You know why? He didn't know the combination. That officially. Now we know why. He doesn't know the passcode.
So I will say tonight, leading into the main event, it's the go home show.
Yeah,
literally.
So they're not going to do too much craziness in ring tonight. You don't want to risk someone getting hurt. We'll get to Seth later here. We'll talk about that a bit more. But so I gotta say, as a main event, this wasn't a huge Raw main event.
Boring.
But they did a damn fine job all night long of building this matchup and making it seem like a much bigger deal than it really was. But that being said, gentlemen, what did you think of tonight's main event? And what you said boring there.
Where was the sword?
Hopefully in a trash compactor somewhere.
For me, it was boring because it was a match for nothing. But I gotta say that it was a great job for two big guys. To see two big guys face each other, and the best part was at the end with R-Truth. I mean, if that part wasn't the match, it really was gonna be a trash. But we have Truth, and that's some points.
R-Truth saved it for you.
Yeah, totally.
We say it every week.
I'm still curious of how much that is he's being given. Like, come on,
how
Damien's
getting
today
much
was
money?
Today was like.
No, but seriously, come on. First of all, okay, I want to know who's writing the promos and gimmicks, because the fact that he's like, oh, don't you want to hold this? Okay, I'll put it in the briefcase. Like, who would have thought of that idea? And then he goes to ringside and talks to Michael Cole about the briefcase while in the middle of the match. And he's like, oh, you can't put the cash in. Doesn't know the combination. Doesn't know the lock. All this kind of stuff. Like, who would have thought of this stuff? And it's actually entertaining.
It is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we say this pretty much every week on the show, but R-Truth is a national treasure. We love the man to death here at Dirt Sheet Radio.
If you know, you know.
Wrong. But it was a lot of fun. I wouldn't be shocked if R-Truth was pitching a lot of this himself. He's a funny
guy. I hope so. I really hope so.
Now, do you think that after tonight's events, Damian slugging Truth, throwing him out of the ring, do you think that R-Truth will still delusionally believe he is part of the Judgment Day after tonight, or was tonight the end of that? He will?
No, he'll stick around. He knows there's money to be made in that situation.
I think he will be more weeks with trying to be with the Judgment Day, but I think tonight was like the point to now create a new story between this feud of R-Truth and Damian Priest. I don't know. Maybe they too.
They'll be the next tag champs. No.
Or maybe to be the next tag team champions with The Miz.
That would be pretty sweet, actually.
That is an inch and a half thick stack of $100 bills. Like how he's making tens of thousands of dollars selling
They are real.
Judgment Day merch. Like, how is he doing this? Like, my goodness, the business acumen of Ron Killings is astonishing. That's the headline tonight.
Why do
He's
I
the
feel
true
like
military man?
Right?
Why do I feel like he shows up at the arena and Hunter just says hi and then Truth just disappears? That's his whole thing for the night. Just go do what you want.
Just do what you want to have fun. Camera's
I'll
gonna be on you all night long.
I'll see you in an hour. Like,
the match itself is fine. Like I said, it wasn't anything to write home about. It was a little plotting.
It was okay.
Yeah, no one's going to take any major chances right now. Going into it, I wasn't really certain who was going to pick up the win here, but I really assumed it was going to be Priest over McIntyre just due to Judgment Day shenanigans. But it turns out the Judgment Day shenanigans are what lost it for Damian Priest.
Yeah, no, we'll just see what happens this Saturday at the Rumble. That's all I can really say about that whole shenanigan situation.
It's gonna be a fun night. It'll be interesting. Assumingly R-Truth will be in the Rumble, so there probably will be a little more advancement of the R-Truth Judgment Day angle there.
And he will cost the Judgment Day the Royal Rumble.
No, JD is gonna cost them because he thinks he's part of it for some reason.
No. You can't even throw JD McDonough over the top rope with that giant head.
They'll get stuck in there somehow.
This Farquad's not going down.
You saw the match that happened in the movie. Okay, he did not step in the ring. Farquad or JD, similarities, like you said, it's gonna happen. 2024.
He's taller than
Multiverse.
Farquad. He's taller.
You know what's weird?
Multiverse.
He's 5'10", hey?
No,
on
he's
TV. Yes, I googled it one time.
Ooh.
Ooh. Now, is that about what I said or about Rhea's outfit?
The height.
Yes.
The height. I don't know what I'm more surprised about, finding out that JD McDonough is 5'10", or last week finding out that Bafemi was 22. Turns out he's actually 25, apparently, still very young. But I think I'm more shocked about JD McDonough being taller than me. So,
at least your head's not square.
But it might look nice, more chiseled that way. But I digress. Gentlemen, anything else on tonight's main event, or shall we hop around to the front of the show as is tradition?
Back to the front. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So tonight, Monday Night Raw came from the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. Been in that venue myself. Last time I was in the Smoothie Center was the Raw the night after WrestleMania 30.
Can we say a shout out to the Caesar? Can we say a shout out to the Caesar Superdome? Yes,
the Caesar Superdome, the Superdome, brother. I'll say at WrestleMania 30, when Hogan said when he referred to the Superdome as the Silver Dome, everyone kind of let it go the first time.
Yep,
like he said it once, and everyone's like, "Okay,
he's a Hulkster.
It's fine. It's fine. Keep going." And then he did it like a third time, and just 78,000 people booing him, and he looked so confused. Yeah. And then I think one of the ring crew shouted at him and told him that he had said the Silver Dome, and he corrected himself. And
it's funny because like if Truth does it, he goes, "My bad, y'all." If Hogan does it, everyone loses it. I love
it. He was like 6 seconds, like. All right, bro.
Oh, I mean the Superdome, brother. I was thinking about slamming Andre. And I believe that. I'm willing to bet that Hulk Hogan thinks about slamming Andre the Giant at least 4 times every day. At least. Anyway.
Slamming, right?
All right.
Just go on.
All right. So the show this evening opened with Seth freaking Rollins limping his way to the ring, not a smile on his face, not a dance to his step. So he's saying that he will be out 3 to 4 months. Looked very emotional, very, very emotional going into the promo. And I didn't know how they were going to handle this. There was a lot of speculation all week long about the severity of the injury. No one really knew if it was going to take him out of Mania, if he'd be ready in time, if they would overplay it, downplay it. I would assume at this point that it's slightly less bad than they are letting on. Because, with any sort of, return estimate, you always want to, overestimate.
Exaggerate.
Yeah. And then, deliver more quickly. So I'm glad to see that he will be able to, make WrestleMania. I don't think he'll probably be in the ring until then. I could see him maybe working Elimination Chamber, but I think in all likelihood, we won't see him actually in the ring until the night one main event of WrestleMania. So it's good that he's not hurt, but he had me going. He got me. Not as good as Mark Henry did that one time, but he did have me believing that something was really amiss.
With that tears and everything. He saw all the segment. Like I was thinking that also, like you said, that this was not 100% true about the problem on his knee.
Mm-hmm.
And now to see this point that he will be in 3 to 4 months, but he will become sooner than we think. No.
How much you want to bet that he's gonna sell this angle for a bit and come back in time for Perth? Because, like I said before, the government down there spent a lot of money to get the rights to the event. So
that's true.
He could easily, if he gets put in the chamber, for example, he could work the chamber and be like somewhat active in the chamber versus a one-on-one match where he's a part of the whole show.
Well, and if what I've read on the interwebs is true, if Rollins isn't on that show, they won't have a world title on the show. Because it sounds like Reigns isn't going to be there. So
yes. Yes.
No, I'm glad he's not, but I feel
I'm glad
because
I won't start. I can do a whole episode about it. I really could.
But so if that's the case and that's that's true, then they wouldn't have a world champion. So, but I mean, if it's at all risky for him to be back that soon, I'd much rather them just wait.
I think you at least give him like a cut a promo at Perth.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll.
Don Ramon.
Seth walking in to WrestleMania this year.
That's official pictures right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler, guys.
We time jumped.
That's how we've got access here at Dirt Sheet Radio to see through the annals of time to know exactly what's going to occur in major show.
Holy crap!
Seth was interrupted by
Can we show that clip? Can we show that?
And I believe this is one of the first true face-to-faces we've had between Seth Rollins and Gunther. Gunther did mention that they've more or less avoided one another for the last couple of years.
Honestly, I'd watch that program. Those two, belt or no belt, I'd watch that.
We all figured that at some point Gunther was absolutely world heavyweight title bound.
Oh yeah,
I still think he is, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't see him dropping the IC title before WrestleMania. I don't think he's going to lose it next Monday night.
I don't want to be Captain Obvious or Captain Predictable here when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. How much you want to bet he's going to pick up the belt in Berlin?
When is that show?
Like summer this year. It's I see it because it's an international crowd. They want to give him everything since it's over there. So when the show goes,
but historically,
I'm just saying,
you are to your home, the less likely you are to win that match.
You never know. Sometimes
maybe that was how Vince operated. Maybe Hunter's not going to be that way.
So
time will tell. I'll ask this question. Here's a question I posit. Seth Rollins, he's a face. I wouldn't say he's as squeaky clean a baby face as someone like Cody Rhodes, but he's still a face. Doesn't really cheat. Gets cheered. People sing the song. He in many regards as a face is a role model. Should we really celebrate someone who has a wicked bad injury and is flagrantly ignoring doctor's orders? See?
That's a double-edged sword.
It's tough.
But it's the passion, the passion for a man that needs to go and needs to become something better. It's example for life.
There you go.
Eduardo's
It's
got a point.
So it is. So the positivity spin on it is it's a never give up kind of thing. I don't want to say never give up. I don't want John Cena getting mad that someone else is using his.
He's probably already here too.
It's like the Predator. You never know where he's at.
Yeah. Oh damn, we're going down.
But Gunther declared that he will be winning the Royal Rumble and going on to choose Seth and face him. I don't think that Gunther will be winning the Royal Rumble this year.
No.
Don't know who's going to take him out, but
maybe Brock. Maybe Brock.
You think there's a chance Brock could be coming back Saturday night?
Yeah, of course.
The rumor mills are going crazy. Everyone's names are getting thrown in.
Brock will be.
Hell, I might be in it. I might. Who knows? The pro wrestling hipster could be.
It's official. You know why? You know who's going to the Rumble this year from our little squad?
He's in it. Guys.
He won't tell us the truth. He's watching. He won't tell us.
Those WWE NDAs are real, guys. You got to sign.
Yeah.
What if Gunther lost the title at the Elimination Chamber with Chad Gable with some help of Suplex City guy, and then we have a match between those two, because I don't think they need the IC title. I don't know your opinion.
No, I agree.
No, I'm definitely of the belief that certain matches, especially with the right guys, they're bigger than the title, especially when we're talking about Brock
and Gunther.
And I think we need more spaces for the main roster. For the main Carter, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know he's not part of the same company, but I'll say this anyways. Could you imagine putting Gunther and Roosh in a chopping match? I know. My chest hurts thinking about that.
I think Andrade has best chops.
You think? Rush. Then throw all three of them. Yeah. All three of them. Let's go.
Or
chop.
Yeah.
15 minutes of just chopping. It's all it is. But anyways, I do agree with Eduardo. That those two could just go for a like one-on-one, no belt, just duke it out. I see television. What?
Yeah, I see.
Damn it,
that's pretty solid. Like, you're right. If Seth can't be there, it would have to be the IC title being defended in the chamber. If Seth is unable to wrestle at the chamber event,
why not do a number one contenders match in the chamber, and then the women's belts in the chamber? Like not Rhea's belt, Io's in the chamber.
Oh, poor Io. Why she get?
I mean, well, because Rhea's gonna be in there with Nia, remember?
Yeah,
most likely. So, like, I mean, if they want to do it with Rhea in the chamber and Io in the chamber, then let's put everyone else in the chamber. Hell, Tyler, you go in there. Eduardo, you hop in there too.
I don't want to be. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to fly to Australia just to get my ass thrown on some like metal girders. That's not in the cards, man. That's going to hurt.
Even if they're going to pay for your flight.
That's gonna hurt.
Business class tickets. Yeah.
For you, the missus, everybody in your house, even the cats. Let's go.
All the cats, the dogs, all of them. We just got a new dog this week. Anyway, but so the promo ended when the New Day, Kofi back in matching ring gear with Woods. The New Day attacked. I mean, this ring gear wasn't as bad. But Woods and Kingston attacked Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser, and this led into a match between the two, which ended in a double countout right around the 10-minute mark. This has been a hell of a feud that they have built over a few weeks here. I was a little perturbed to see Kofi back so quickly. I felt like he should have been out a couple weeks at least from that attack, because they treated it like such a big deal and such a vicious assault. I feel like he should have been gone until the Rumble.
Yes.
And like maybe, you have a hope spot where Woods is in the ring, getting just absolutely like beat down by Imperium. And then bam, Kofi comes out, makes a save. They toss, Vinci and Kaiser, and then you keep the feud going from there. But solid match though. I liked the finish. I thought it was Thought it was a lot of fun, like, pretty hard hitting, and it looks vicious. Like, I'm enjoying this feud. It's kind of a different New Day tonight.
Yeah,
They
this
weren't,
new,
clapping and singing. It was a more
yeah, a new
straightforward,
attitude.
vicious. Yeah.
Yeah,
I honestly,
I'm interested in this new attitude from the New Day. I dream someday one day we will see again the New Day heel. So maybe this is the beginning, no? In the future.
Maybe. Well, and it reminded me a lot of, and this was, going back about 10, 12 years now. Kofi's been in this company for a long time. But thereabouts, but it reminded me of the night in Madison Square Garden when Kofi wrestled Randy Orton and boom dropped him through the table after they brawled outside the ring after the match. It felt like that kind of Kofi Kingston. Just much more serious.
Stupid. No?
Like Budios.
Yeah,
yeah.
And actually, to this day, I'll never really understand why Kofi Kingston wasn't a just absolute superstar after that Orton spot at Madison Square Garden. I thought that was going to make his career then.
Or Randy, no?
Randy got put through the table. Kofi looked great that night. But no, I dug this. I dug this version of New Day tonight. And I really do hope this is what they're going to do going forward. Something more serious. They got to do something different. It hasn't felt like New Day since Big E's been out.
Yep. You can thank, what's his name again?
Rich Holland.
I remember. There we go. That's the one.
But at a point, to continue to do the same kind of New Day gimmick without Big E, I don't want to say it's disrespectful to Big E, but it's not the same. It's not fun. There's always somewhere in the back of my head, even having fun with New Day bits, I get a little sad because I remember Big E's gone, and it's probably smart of them to try to transition New Day into something a little bit different than what they were.
Yeah. I mean, if you look everywhere on social media, he keep bringing up that he's got no timeline of return. But then again, it is Rumble season. Who the hell knows what could happen? Or Rumble and Mania.
And that's the thing. I would love for Big E to be back, and be healthy and safe. And that's the key. If he can come back and it's a guarantee, well, as much of a guarantee as you can have in professional wrestling. But if it would be, a guarantee that he'd be safe to wrestle, that'd be fantastic. But
yeah,
but maybe I just said at the Royal Rumble he will come back and we can have a match. Well, it's very dangerous, but Big E with Gunther for the IC, because next week we have Kofi against Gunther for the IC title.
And Gunther's going to run Kofi over.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Like, I'm sorry to say that. I do agree.
It's going to be a good match. And I'm sure Kofi will look, they'll give him some hope spots, but I don't think going into that anybody thinks Kofi's going to beat Gunther.
Maybe they're setting up for a secret return.
But I don't know.
We're heading into WrestleMania season. Crazy stuff happens. This is we're downshifting and picking up speed here. Saturday night, the Royal Rumble. I don't know about you guys, but the Rumble's always been one of my favorite shows of the year. Just it's a blast,
because anything can happen.
Anything can happen. That was the phrase for years. Anything can happen in the WWE.
I remember the old school Rumbles. You look at the screen going, okay, who is it? Who is it? And then if it's somebody you already knew, you're like, okay, cool. If it's somebody that's new, you'd freak out and throw something.
We would go for the some of the bigger shows. We would go to Buffalo Wild Wings would show the pay-per-views, and the Royal Rumble was always a blast at that because you have restaurant just packed wall to wall with people, and you couldn't hear shit on those TVs unless it was the Rumble. When it got down to about 4 seconds left, the entire bar got quiet so you could hear that entrance theme pop. And it was always a blast. But moving on to the next segment in the show, we had a backstage segment with the Judgment Day, and the division between Priest and Rhea continues. This is a fantastic picture. But yeah, they got in a quarrel again, and it's telling that after Priest left to clear his head and get ready for his match, she was still barking out orders to the rest of the group.
I don't know if I'm lost, but what happened with the relationship between Dom and Rhea?
That is a great question and a great observation because it's been
1 week
weeks.
since you looked.
Weeks.
It's been weeks. It has absolutely been weeks since they have mentioned them being a couple or really shown them in that regard or that capacity.
Does she still have the thing on her face? The DSR or whatever?
Producer, can we have the image?
She didn't have anything on there unless it was
No.
written on the other side, but I don't recall seeing
It
it.
just keeps showing the picture.
What?
Oh,
Mommy's image can appear on this broadcast as frequently as it needs to. See,
she does have it still. She has it still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, R+D right there.
But I want to see a kiss or something, you know?
Yeah, maybe they're. I mean, I feel like Judgment Day is definitely in its final stage.
Yeah.
You know, we are at the end of, or at least of this iteration of the Judgment Day. But I think we're about to get that, official
Judgment Day Wolfpack.
Judgment Day Black and Gold.
No, you know what's really sad though about that, you guys? If this is true, you know what's the really sad part about it? Is no matter what you call it, Wolfpack, Black and Gold, Pink and Purple, that color that Tyler's wearing, take your pick. JD won't be a member.
Oh.
No matter what way you go with it.
No. He's just going to legally change his name to Judgment Day McDonough. And then...
No. I quit. No.
I am the Judgment Day.
No.
But we're right on the cusp of Judgment Day ending. I think face turn for Rhea is coming up. I possibly a face turn for Damian Priest. I can still see him going back.
No, I can agree with that one too. I can see it be kind of harder because he's carrying the empty briefcase.
I read the other day that Finn Balor his contract expired days after the WrestleMania, no?
Yeah. It does. I read that as well. I think it's right around WrestleMania. It's supposed to expire, but I can't really see him going anywhere else. Hunter likes him. As far as I know, he likes Hunter, and they have a really good working relationship.
You know what would be really cool, and I doubt this would ever actually go through fully, is if they broke up the Judgment Day, if we got AJ, the club, Finn, and somebody I'm thinking of, whoever it is, and made them like the Bullet Club of like WWE.
Minus being something else.
But you know what I'm saying, right?
There's too many iterations of the Bullet Club running around now. It's getting to the point like the NWO was in its last legs.
I wanted to say something about that Finn Balor situation, assuming that it's true, because it's kind of come out from like under like back channels first, and it hasn't come from like a big source yet. So I'm waiting. That's why I haven't even like posted it yet, because it hasn't come from a big source yet. But it does sound plausible. It does sound plausible. But the thing that's interesting to me is that Cody and Charlotte and Bailey, and there's, I think, not Becky yet, but there's other wrestlers that have signed contracts with the WWE, and they had like years left on the contract that they were already on.
Yeah.
And they were like priority. So Drew and Finn Balor, presumably not being re-signed with just 3 months left, it's a little interesting. It's not concerning, but I guess it depends on how you feel about it. But it's a little interesting, I think, that it's so close, and not only that, but that they're being booked so strong. And it's so close. Vince would have never, ever never would have done this. And I point to John Moxley right before he left in this same period, same exact period of time, right? Almost exactly. The contract runs out after WrestleMania. I guess the difference was that he blabbed it out like, I'm not staying here. I don't give a fuck. And these guys are kind of playing it by ear, so to speak. But I do think it's interesting. I don't think it's as hand wavy as some people want it to be. I think it's something to pay attention to. I don't know if they'll actually go anywhere, but just the fact that we're here.
Right.
That's all I had to say about that. You guys can get back to Raw.
Let's go back to Raw.
But it is certainly an interesting situation going forward. But so right before our next match, we had a quick backstage segment with Jackie Redmond interviewing Ivy Niles with Maxine Dupree, and Maxine did most of the talking.
Hey!
Oh yeah,
Hey, we have something first.
The spotting of Damage
I
Control
saw that. That was
in the
great.
background. Yeah, I saw Bailey walking by, and I'm like, "What the heck's going on back there?" And I loved like watching them walk by, literally just kind of
He was dancing
around, like
Yeah.
like we're here at Raw, guys, and we will see here in just a little bit why Damage Control was at Monday Night Raw this evening.
Dun, dun,
But
dun.
yes, but we had a quick backstage segment interview. Maxine Dupree did pretty much all of the talking for Ivy Nile there, which is probably for the best. Ivy Nile, good look, reasonable in the ring. However, not the most charismatic person on the women's roster. But
Zero.
we had a shot of the Creed brothers on Monday Night Raw for the first time, I think, in 3 weeks.
A cameo.
Like, yeah, cameo. It's not even like it's barely an appearance. Like they were only there because Ivy was. Like, man, it looked like they were putting so much behind the Creed brothers there for a couple weeks. They just been gone. They just been gone since then. But it was good to see them back on the show tonight. And this led into Ivy now with Maxine Dupree at her side, taking on Valhalla.
Yeah, you sound excited. Calm down.
You know,
She's my pick to win the Royal Rumble.
Oh, shut up.
Stop it. Stop
Get
it,
out.
Eduardo. You do
Where's
not
the
mean
kick
that.
button? Where's
You
the kick
don't mean
button?
that. But yeah, Ivy Nile picks up the victory here in right around 3 minutes. Pretty quick win. This was really just designed to make Ivy look strong and kind of get over her moves and her big spots there.
Quick question. I know he's doing like uploads and whatnot. Do you have a shot of the stage? I posted it in the chat about this. Do you have a shot of the stage? We saw a certain person pop up. Do we have a shot of that by chance? I'm kind of curious.
I don't think anybody was able to get a good enough screenshot because it was all the way in the back, and it
was one shot. It was only one shot.
It was very subtle.
I wasn't even sure if it was on purpose. But
are they doing something with this? Is there a point? Because I would like there to be a point. Because I would like to trust that there's a higher plan here, and it's not just we think this is funny.
It's not.
They've went back to it. So I don't know if there was a plan and they diverted, because I feel like that when they diverted her from doing the I'm standing in the background gimmick, it was when Vince came back and kind of snatched power again there briefly. So I don't know if this was like a Hunter plan. He's like, well, fuck it, I'm going back to it now. But it'd be nice to see something build from this. Because they were doing a similar. Yeah.
Actually, if you're gonna go in, you might as well go all in. Do it for like 2 years.
Don't even wrestle a match. She can just pursue her degrees and just appear on Raw.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say, this is a college-educated woman. We're gonna have her appear 3 seconds a week randomly in one single frame. Like you have to pause to see.
Is she pursuing her doctorate, or does she?
I think she got something. I know she was celebrating something, and I don't remember exactly which one. I know there's a bunch of levels you have to go through before you get a lot of certificates before you get the big one. But
the big one. So to explain to everybody, let me hash this out quickly. To explain to everyone, if you're watching the actual match, there's a split second or something like that. You look in the background, a shot of the entrance during one of the pins, and there's a cameraman filming what looks like Nikki Cross walking across the stage. That's all she's doing. She's walking across the stage and goes back to the back. That's all she did. They don't acknowledge it. They don't show anything other than that.
It's like the footage of Bigfoot walking through the forest. It was just super quick, a little bit blurry. Maybe it wasn't even Nikki Cross. I don't know.
Maybe it was Vince. We don't know.
By the way, Sarah Logan, Valhalla. Sarah Logan's a good wrestler, but I got to say, tonight was one of the worst foot on the rope pin attempts I've ever seen.
Oh, I know.
Like I made a point of writing that down. It was rough looking.
That's when you know it's bad when Tyler writes it in his notes.
You know what? And that is reason number 244 why you don't wrestle barefoot.
Only 244?
Well, that's reason number 244. There are far more reasons than that. Mostly having to do with broken toes and.
Next week, Chris Tyler sits down and discusses all the reasons.
All the reasons, guys. That's gonna be the hook. That's really gonna bring the viewers in. I'll start listing a reason every week as to why you do not wrestle barefoot. Hey, remember when the Usos did? The Usos used to wrestle barefoot.
Oh, Usos did it. Yeah, I remember that whole thing.
Until it broke. But yeah. So quick win for Ivy Nile there. And that'll take us into hour 2 of tonight's show with Nia Jax. Nia Jax making her way to the ring.
Another great one.
Another beautiful Nia Jax promo. She is just clearly twice as charismatic as her cousin.
We're still talking about
Nia,
it. Okay.
You know.
But
you know what's the best promo that Nia's ever cut? Anybody?
My hole.
No. Okay, fine. No, that was an in-ring segment.
You're right. That was an in-ring segment. You're right. That wasn't a promo.
The actual best promo she's ever cut is when she doesn't talk. No. I'm just saying it now. I'm sorry, but like tonight's promo where she's like, I squashed her. My first thought is I squashed my pain in this match, close my book, walk away. Like, I just can't. Whenever she talks,
but that was a lot better than the match before. So,
no, anything would have been better than the match before.
She was quickly interrupted by the man Becky Lynch, who, as much as I love Becky, I will say this: I don't feel that she's really been tearing it up on the promos lately. I feel like a lot of her material has come across very scripted sounding, very rehearsed, just not very natural. She has a very odd cadence. It's just I feel like no one actually talks the way Becky talks.
Okay,
when she does a promo.
Hold on, that first line she says when she came out, where she's like, "Shut up, Nia, you big dope." That was perfect. And after that, I was just like, I don't want to hear anything else.
And she did make reference to Nia possibly having injured roughly half the women in the locker room.
Half? I'm like,
well, she was being conservative.
Okay, fine, true.
So Becky's out there for a bit, and then interruption number 2. SmackDown superstar Bayley.
Yeah,
first time ever.
Monday Night Raw. Nice to see Bayley back on Raw.
Mommy Bayley.
Can we get some love in the chat for Bayley?
Bayley. Welcome back, Bayley. You know, I think we're not too far away from a face turn for Bayley as well. I think we've gone about as far as we can.
The Bayley buddies.
She would have to literally resurrect them from the dead.
Could you imagine Royal Rumble? She comes out in the full getup and everything.
She gets the Undertaker to do it. The Undertaker's technically a necromancer, right?
Yeah.
Hot take. She's actually my pick to win the Royal Rumble.
I'm with you, John. I'm with you, man.
100%.
I'm with you.
I'm not gonna start.
I want to see more Bayley on TV every single week.
Well, you know, if she wins that Rumble, gets the belt, you know, she'll be a much more centerpiece there. She'll probably be out of Damage Control sooner rather than later. Yeah, okay. It sounds like a lot of this. We are all on the Bayley train.
The Bayley bus.
The Bayley buzz. We are.
Who's on
in the end.
We are all Bayley buddies here at the Dirt Sheet Radio.
Do we have headbands next week? Headbands. Let's go.
Can we still be huggers? Like, are we still huggers? Is that a thing?
I think so. Yeah, we can bring it back.
I think
I have a Bayley shirt somewhere. I'll go find it for next episode.
Hug up. With an A.
Don't want a hard R on that. No, that's
B. The B is like this. Like,
all right. But
next week.
But
we are all celebrating.
Worst or absolute best?
Oh my God, we're gonna get canceled.
COVID happened. I'm not hugging.
Listen.
I actually always wondered if Bayley regretted the hugging gimmick after a while, because she probably had to hug a lot of folks that she probably didn't want.
You don't care if Bayley gives you a hug.
Yeah, I was just gonna say what Eduardo said. If Bayley walked up to you right now and said, "I'm gonna hug you," what are you gonna say? Okay, what are you gonna say?
I'm a hugger. What do you want me to say?
No, you're not gonna say anything. You're gonna hug. You're not gonna say anything. Chalk.
Huggy mommy.
Oh,
I was gonna say
All
the more appropriate answer is gibberish while giving a hug.
We're moving on to the next match.
Please, let's go, skip it.
All right. So up next we had The Miz taking on Tom and Nick.
Wait, what about Tom and Nick Mysterio or Tom and Nick cereal?
Tom and Nick cereal.
I got my notes proper.
There was a quick little segment with R-Truth talking to The Miz prior in that day about the match coming up, which again, any segment the R-Truth is in, fantastic. But Dominic Mysterio with JD McDonough and Finn Balor taking on The Miz. Dom picks up the win here in 10 minutes. And gentlemen, I got to say, that is the way I thought this was actually going to go this evening. Dom needs some wins periodically, and let's be honest, The Miz taking a loss isn't going to hurt The Miz. It's not a big deal at all. You know, honestly, I think people are far more surprised when The Miz wins a match than when he loses one. And still, though, it's, you know, a big win on Monday Night Raw for Dom, which is good to get Dom a little more heat heading into the Rumble to make him seem at least like he has a slight chance of potentially winning. But, gentlemen, what did you think of Dom and The Miz?
It was like a single match normal, like every week. Just the end with Finn Balor with more aggressive. Rhea told him he needs to be more aggressive, you know. So,
dude, I'll just say it now. I've seen boxes of kittens that are more aggressive. Like, you want it more aggressive? Grab a chair. Come on.
It's always been difficult for me to really buy Finn as a heel.
It's hard for me to buy it because of how he did it. All he did was just punch the hell out of
Miz. That's it. Such a nice guy. Like the man builds Lego.
Did we say he seems like a Canadian? Hey.
I mean, I don't know if he's that nice.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Didn't mean to. Sorry.
Is that how a beatdown happens in Canada? You apologize.
I'll send you the video.
Okay. World star. But
already happened too.
but it was a fine match, like you said, Edward. It was kind of a standard TV match, but again, it's the go home show heading into the Rumble. They're not going to do anything too crazy in the ring tonight.
We have DIY.
Yeah, and then DIY came down to make the save after the Miz was just getting absolutely.
I didn't even hear the music go off.
Oh, I heard. How do you miss that?
Lucky you.
Yeah, seriously. I wish I didn't hear the music. Why can't they use their old theme?
No, our fearless leader already has put it up before. It's probably because of like rights or some jazz like that.
Oh, right.
No, what bugs me is like I was watching with you guys, and as soon as like the camera turned to him, I was like, "It's DIY." Like I was like not trying to be like, you know, a tough guy, but I didn't hear anything. And then Tomas is doing his little like gallop down to the ring. I'm like, do you have
wait, go back. Stop right there. Do tough guys not listen to people, or do tough guys not listen to music? Or I was trying to process it, but I really need. Is that a Canadian thing?
No, like. No, I'm just being honest because like usually you hear the music and you're like, oh my god, it's so and so. But like
tough guys don't react to entrance at all. Don't you dare!
It's not a hockey game. It's not a hockey game. We lose our shit. No, but like I didn't hear.
My bad.
Like no, like usually, like I said, you hear the music go off, you freak out, you get excited, you get hype.
Yeah, sure.
Theirs went off. You were just like, oh, swell. Like,
but finally, they have time. You know, finally
30 seconds.
Have time. 30 seconds, but 30 seconds are 30 seconds.
So she said.
This program is not PG.
Was it ever? Was it ever?
No. As I say pretty much every week on Facebook, as a throwback to the beginning days of Monday Night Raw. No, here at Dirt Sheet Radio, we are live. We are uncut, uncensored, and uncooked. So no, that's always on. It is Raw, gentlemen.
We
It
sound like
is
we're
Raw.
Jerry Springer suddenly.
Hey, we can only aspire to be so great. R.I.P. Jerry.
Oh man, when I found that out about him, I was so broken. His shows were so educational. No, I'm serious. Compared to some of the crap on TV at the time,
I really hope you didn't learn most of how you feel and know about America from that.
No, just that one portion of the country.
You know what though? I mean, he wouldn't have been off. I mean, like, that's a pretty accurate representation of about like 70%.
It's a good cross-section of our nation. It really is.
Hear me out, okay? This is how it was for me, okay, as a kid. On one side, on sick days, of course, from school, you had one side was Jerry Springer on one channel, okay? Like I said, educational as can be, very polite TV, quality programming. And the other side, you had like Price is Right. And then if it was like a Saturday morning, it was like cartoons and Jerry Springer. So quality. It's like 70%.
Golden Age television. Moving on, we had a backstage interview with Damian Priest, just hyping his match, mostly to come. Pretty solid promo from Priest. It's good to see him get some just one, kind of just singular mic time here. Most of his promos, are group scenarios with the Judgment Day. But again, things like this, I think it's evident that we are at those final stages of the Judgment Day, and he will be splitting off to be a solo act once again.
But solo face or solo heel?
It's hard to say.
Face.
Face. I'm starting to think face. I feel like minus him, throwing hands at R-Truth tonight, I feel like a lot of what he's done the last couple of weeks has been a little more groundwork to turn face again. He's the only one that's been really nice to R-Truth, and it could just be because of the giant wads of cash that it's affording him. But
he couldn't put it in the briefcase, so that's kind of a downfall.
Yeah.
He could have easily just given him the code.
He didn't know the code.
And anyone knows the chat, and when the chat knows the combination. Drop the chat.
It's Rhea Ripley's birthday.
Oh, phone number.
But on to our next match of the evening. We had Chad Gable taking on
your favorite.
Your favorite.
Say it properly. Ivar,
the Viking Rider. So Ivar defeats Chad Gable in right around 11 minutes.
I missed the cap.
I hate
the way
this
I would have booked
decision.
it. Yeah, not the way I would have
hate
booked
this
it.
decision.
I 100% wanted Chad Gable to win this match.
Why Akira Tozawa wins the match with Ivar and Chad Gable, the master, the leader of the Alpha Academy, lose the match,
Eduardo speaking straight facts.
So good. It's so good.
Well, and Gable is just so believable in that. Like I know he is a good bit smaller than Ivar, but you believe that he can beat Ivar. I mean, for God's sakes, we believed, and I still think to an extent there's a good chance some of us believe that Chad Gable could beat Gunther, but I think a lot of us believed he had a chance to beat him the last couple times they wrestled, and Gunther is way bigger than him. But there's something about just his physicality, his his offensive style. He's just so believable in that role. And conversely, you say Tozawa beat Ivar last week. Tozawa is someone in that match you don't think he would actually stand a chance. Like, he's going to get some quick hope spots in, but there's just something different about the physicality there. That and Tozawa, I feel like, plays a little more comedy than Gable does, and Gable plays a lot of comedy. But Tozawa's, I think, a little more in a comedy role. But yeah, I didn't like that Ivar picked up the win here, and that's not just because I'm a big Gable
fan
guy. Yeah, love Gable.
I mean, Ivar.
Fuck the Viking Raiders.
You need to have a T-shirt,
I should.
Dude, Tyler would his whole wardrobe would just be that.
Maybe there's a lot of
headbands.
The Viking Riders.
I just wish they'd stop it. It's just such a bad gimmick. I say this every week. I'm sure people are tired of hearing it. Or maybe they're not. No. Maybe people are entertained by this. But it's just such a bad gimmick. It's dumb. It's just dumb.
Yeah, no. I'm. That's why I don't say anything whenever you talk about it. I let you.
And again,
go
though,
off
he's
steam.
such a good wrestler. He's such a good wrestler. Like this was my personally, this was my favorite match of the night. Even though Gable didn't win, like I thought it was the best match tonight. It was good.
It was good.
I don't remember if it was John that showed the picture or someone showed the picture in one of our chats, but I remember there's a picture. It's like the two of them as just themselves away from the gimmick, or like back in like the Indies where they were carrying like the PWG tag belt and another tag belt at some show. I don't remember what it was. And like it proves what you're saying.
They were just normal dudes in Ring of Honor. They were just
that's what I'm saying.
Guys.
They're good wrestlers away from the crap.
Like
get rid of the shit.
Just not a fan of the gimmick, but the match was great. I didn't really like the finish either. Like just Gable is poised to win the match, and then Valhalla just jumps up on the apron,
just appear and
barefoot,
just screams in his face. Like because she didn't enter with Ivar, right?
Nope.
Like he came to the ring by himself. Yeah, so
I wasn't even paying attention. Oh. I didn't watch like near the end of the match. I just know like I saw like the entrance.
I'm sure he came out by himself. I don't think she was with him.
She just appear and scare Chad Gable, and that's
so can she teleport now? Is that something that they've given her as an
ability? It's a barefoot person thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you know what? Maybe next time I go to work, I'll just wear no shoes, and I'll be at work's front door in like a split second. Maybe it'll work.
Maybe
it's a Canadian thing. Maybe she's secretly a Canadian now. Yes, I'm allowed stereotyping that in the chat if anyone says anything.
I've never heard that as a stereotype before, that Canadians can teleport barefoot. That's not something I've ever...
Where's CJ? He'll clarify with that one.
All right, so we are...
Holy crap.
We're going to move on here. So one of the major advertised segments for Raw tonight was the face-to-face between the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk. Guys, this was one hell of a promo between these two men. It leads me to wonder, what direction are they going to be heading in with CM Punk in terms of his first major feud? Because, we've been talking Seth, but tonight made it seem like he and Cody might be locking horns sooner rather than later.
I agree with you on that. I actually think this was setting up Cody's first WWE Championship feud. That was my take on that. I thought it seemed like they were setting up a thing. They're gonna have a cool face-off at the Rumble. People are gonna go crazy. Mm-hmm. They're gonna revisit that post.
Maybe SummerSlam.
SummerSlam seems cool. But you got to remember, in this new WWE world where freaking Backlash is in France in front of, however many thousand people, right, they might decide to do it, there. But in a normal world, SummerSlam would be the place to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic.
With a long time also.
Yeah. They gave them quite a bit of time. It opened up the third hour of the show. I'm kind of scrolling through my notes here to see if there was anything I, kind of picked out on the promos. But yeah, Diego, absolutely incredible promo. And I mean, it's CM Punk. Love the guy or hate the guy, think he's good for wrestling, think he's bad for wrestling. It's hard to deny how talented he is when it comes to working a microphone and painting with words.
I just love that one quote that Punk said. It's not really like super promo related, but it's kind of relatable because of my own situation. I love how he says to Cody something like, "You're here in a fancy suit, and I'm hearing, well, the stuff I wore coming back from the gym today." And I was like, wow, that's super relatable. I actually get that. Except for the jeans part.
Very dirty, nasty, man.
Filthy.
I wanted with a PH. I wanted to talk about this segment with you guys. I actually really liked this. I thought,
yeah, it was good.
It was a good promo.
I thought there was a second gear somewhere that we didn't touch yet, and that's kind of what made me feel like we're gonna revisit that down the road. Almost like a match, almost like a first match. Like the first wrestling match where they give you some good stuff, but it's like, there was some, that gun still's got a lot of bullets left in the chamber. Like, they shot one off, and it was like, okay, cool. But I felt like they've got some better stuff in them that I'd like to see down the line.
Girth?
Girth? Did you say girth?
Girth.
What?
No, Australia.
And that's why he's
Perth.
chick magnet punk. Oh, Perth.
Perth. Okay. Sheesh. I was like,
It's
wow.
it's like a first match, right? No, like he said, just give him a little bit. Just give him a little bit of stuff. Let them taste.
I thought I had seen some people say like it wasn't everything you guys are saying, and I was like, I think they're saying that because of that, because this was like the introductory promo. Like this is the first time they came face to face, and they didn't give you they didn't put the pedal to the metal and give you every single thing in a shoot promo and reference AEW and do everything you wanted them to do, right?
Exactly. And John, it's like you say, this is a new WWE. This is different now. And we are back into an era of long-term booking and long-term storytelling.
Thank you.
You have to be patient, folks. Folks have to be patient. You get that little bit here, a little bit there. It might be, it could be weeks again before they revisit and give us another thread or another crumb for this. It's smart booking. It makes you actually want more. And it's amazing that we live in a world where there's so much wrestling on where I can actually say, oh yeah, I'd like to see more of that. I live in a life now where Raw is 3 hours long. I'd still rather it be 2, but it's an easy 3 hours to watch. It's an easy 3 hours now.
Tolerable, yeah. No, you're not wrong.
I also wanted to say this crowd was asleep for this. I was like, damn. I was like really disappointed because they were hitting some lines and I was like, oh, and it just didn't. There was no pop. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like that was great. And somebody said they were hanging off of every word. I was like, get the fuck out of here. They were sleeping.
Hey, that's some solid, covering on commentary, saying something like that. You can hear a pin drop in here. Bizarro Land. Yeah.
They're stunned. They were stunned.
But no, you're right. They lobbed a couple grenades at one another. I'm more American Dream than you are. Like that should have gotten an whole reaction from the crowd, but they were a little quiet tonight, which is unusual for a New Orleans crowd.
Maybe they're all drunk.
I felt bad because he gives CM Punk, I'm more CM Punk than you, and Punk sells it like you just kicked me in the balls, like you disrespected. But the crowd doesn't give a fuck. Like they were like, what the fuck is going on? Almost like I don't know. Maybe they were stunned. Maybe they couldn't believe what they were seeing. Surreal, incredible.
Just give a fuck.
Hanging on every word.
Oh.
Now, does it say anything as far as story goes that it was Cody's music that played at the end of the sparring match?
Oh yeah, I mean he's the guy.
He's the
guy.
He's
the guy.
He really is.
Yeah,
I like to see it. It's crazy. Look at this. Look at that. What is that? That's crazy.
Great cover.
Look at that. That's insane. Could you believe this?
Out?
That man started a company and smashed a sledgehammer and look at him now. That's an incredible journey. I wish they could document that with real footage, but we'll only have like YouTube documentaries where they use both companies and tell the real story, but it's a great story. I'm really rooting for Cody to really finally get it done, for them to put him on top. Although it would be hilarious if they went through all this again and just Roman plows on through like it doesn't fucking matter. No sells it. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not saying that I would. This isn't a guarantee. I might actually cry if that happens. I'm going to be honest. Full disclosure here on the Dirt Sheet Radio. The last time I think I cried due to professional wrestling, not going to lie, at WrestleMania 30, got a little misty when Daniel Bryan won the world title. There, I was in the building.
That's
like
beautiful.
It was big.
It
was huge. Like, you know what I mean? Like just the emotion and the feeling from that crowd. Like it hits you like a ton of bricks.
You know what? I won't cry for wrestling again because I did one time live, and it was at WrestleMania 33. And it was the whole audience, and everybody was fucking crying together. And I was like, oh, I guess they got to me or whatever. And everybody and their mother thought the Undertaker was retiring. And then he fucking comes back. I was like, you just fell like 5 places in my ranking, you piece of shit. Like, you just fuck you. I will never. You would have to die before I cry in pro wrestling again. Fuck you.
Hey, if it's any consolation, I thought I was witness to the Undertaker's retirement as well.
There's a 5-year stretch where everybody who sees an Undertaker match thinks that they're watching the final Undertaker match. This has to be it. He can't possibly.
I also cry with that match.
Right? What was he even doing then? Like, he took off his clothes and he folded it all nice and neat in the middle of the what the fuck was the point?
And the kiss.
The kids, he kissed Michelle and like, oh my god, she's crying too. What the fuck was the point? He's such a drama queen. I fucking hate him.
You're dead to me.
God damn it.
Oh Jesus. Sorry, Undertaker. Fuck.
That's your 40 years of WrestleMania segment right there.
Okay, so
Great cover.
Transitioning to possibly more vitriol and anger. I was a little irritated with the amount of Hogan that they showed tonight. There he is. Yeah, he's looking. Look, I get the man's like 70, right? He turned 70 this year. He's looking a little shrunk. He's looking a little shrunk.
ET's coming back.
Oh, the AI.
That was awful. That was awful.
Goddamn Polar Express eyes on this AI in this commercial. The only AI that looked natural was the Undertaker's because he just looked so unnatural. Oh God!
Oh my God!
It's so bad.
That was amazingly terrible.
Oh, that's there's
awful.
a lot of AI that's very good, and you think it's the real thing. Not that. No.
Did they film that back in 80 something?
That was
oh my god.
That was
I don't want to.
something else right there.
But there was a lot of promotion today for the Hulkster. What do you think about that?
Yeah, 40 years.
40 years of Hulkamania.
Here's the thing.
Come on, Grandpa. I want to see you one more match.
No. If Hogan, first of all, I don't know if he can actually physically bend into a ring at this point.
He can't go
bump.
on one match.
He can't bump. He's got 3 fake hips.
That he's aware of.
He's
so old.
No, he can.
His knees got rotated. And look, really, to be frankly, I don't want to see him on WWE TV. Tonight was as far as they can push it from me.
It's pretty wild though. Like, it's pretty wild how they could just push right through that thing like it didn't happen. Like, no sell the shit out of it.
Yeah.
He didn't even say like it wasn't even like a slur with no context. Like, he was like, he literally there's a quote that says like, I'm a racist. Like, what the fuck? He said it like, I am a racist. And then he didn't. When he came back and apologized to the locker room, he didn't even apologize. He basically said like, you got to be careful, brother. There's cameras everywhere. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is crazy. But
it's the epitome of like, you're not sorry. You are just sorry you got fucking caught.
It's
like,
crazy,
like, hey, FYI, Hulk, they record phone calls in prison.
It just makes me laugh because it's so blatant and nobody actually gives a fuck. So then I wonder, like, does any company have any responsibility to make moves?
I'm sorry here, but I'm truly sorry, but I love Hulk Hogan.
I bet I can get. It was easy for me not to like Hulk Hogan because he's a snitch, right? And where I'm from, you don't go to court and testify against the people that gave you your life, especially to the government, right? I didn't like Hulk Hogan. He's a rat, dirty rat snitch. Vince got over it. He worked with him again 20 years later. I still think you're a dirty rat snitch. So when everybody else came out and they were like, he's a racist, I was like, well, hop on the train. Like, I'm not gonna tell but I just think it's crazy that there's a literal quote. Like, you can put it on a t-shirt and it wouldn't be libel. Like, you can put, I am a racist, Hulk Hogan. and it would be absolutely true. And they can sell that for 40 years of WrestleMania.
Watch them do that.
No, but I think I understand a lot of people have an emotional connection to Hulk that they'll never get over. And I get that.
I have that connection, I paid for the sign with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm never gonna judge other people for liking Hulk Hogan. There's such a big, deep love that you have for someone growing up, and it's like you just have to throw it away now. Like, it's not possible for most people. So I don't expect that of them. Like, it's really bad. That's really bad to expect that, I think.
Yeah, it is. But no, I don't know. I'm with you. Like at WrestleMania that year, like I popped when Hogan came out. I'd seen the dude live like once prior to that. He wrestled Kurt Angle at King of the Ring when I went. But like, I understand that. But like, no, you do get these emotional. Like my favorite wrestler of all time, Shawn Michaels. I know Shawn Michaels did some real shitty things to a lot of people over the years.
Really bad.
Really
Don't watch mid-2000s shoot interviews if you want to retain your image of Shawn Michaels.
No, and I have. I still think he's one of the best in-ring performers that's ever lived. But like, no. And Shawn apologized mostly, kind of, to a lot of people. I don't know.
I don't remember that incident exactly, but if you say I did it, I absolutely
believe you. I believe you, man. I was on Vicodins at the time.
Did you watch that? Did you watch that Brett and Sean sit down greatest hits?
Yeah,
that was him.
Yeah.
For 3 hours, Brett is describing in detail these incidents where Sean was a piece of shit, and Sean is like, I don't remember it, but if you say that's the way it happened, I believe you. That's like the bare minimum accountability.
one of my favorite segments that came out.
I love him though. I love Shawn.
Love him to death. Love Shawn.
I love Shawn Michaels too.
One of my favorite bits that came out of that DVD set. I think it was an outtake. It wasn't actually in it, but Brett just flat out asked Shawn, "What's up with his eye?"
It's because asked him about his cricket eye. I don't think I ever saw that.
Yeah, and Shawn looks at me. He's like, they say it's from the concussions. Some days I wake up, my eye's normal. Some days I wake up and I look like Duggan.
Hey-o.
No disrespect, Jim. Love you to death too. But yeah,
we've shitted on Hulk Hogan enough, I think.
We're moving on now. Next, let's talk about the Ultimate Warrior. No,
I also a fan of the Ultimate Warrior.
Have a good night, guys.
Listen. I grew up a fan. Like when I watched Chris Benoit as a kid, like he was my hero. So when you're a hero, like when your actual hero, like the dude you want to be like, ends up killing their whole family, it changes the way you perceive things as a child, especially as a child. All the trauma can hurt your brain really bad. That's when it happens. It does change the way you see things. So I don't ever judge people for still appreciating art that comes from a really, really shitty person. I'm never gonna be the guy that's like, fuck you should stop. Take that shirt off. You're a fucking racist. You're a racist too then. Now you're a fucking racist. Like you're never gonna get that from me. You can rip your shirt off if you want. I'm just gonna be over here saying fuck Hulk Hogan. But I was saying it first. I was saying it before. I was saying it first.
Let me get some scissors. 1 second.
I'm the fuck Hulk Hogan hipster. I was.
You were fuck Hulk Hogan before Bash at the Beach '96.
Oh.
All right.
Just for the record, I want to tattoo the sign of Hulk Hogan on my arm.
Really?
Ooh.
Which one? Yeah. The HH, or the whole Hulkamania thing?
The HH.
Okay, HH, brother. the Twitter sign off.
HH. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm a bad person.
Hey, don't. I always say, don't apologize for your feelings. Unless they're really bad and you want to hurt people.
I mean, truth be told, there are very few people in professional wrestling that have made it and been sustained stars that haven't done loads of shitty things. Like it's fewer than not. Like Mick
It's
Foley
literally just
never
Mick
did a.
Foley.
Is it just Mick?
I think it's just Mick. I think
Holy moly.
I think it's just Mick. I think John Cena comes off, but if you fucking try to peel too deep, you're gonna find something, and I don't want to look. I don't even want to find
Too
out.
many Make-A-Wishes. We don't want to screw that up.
Just don't
Okay.
fuck that up.
Oh, so the only pure soul in professional wrestling is Mick Foley.
It's Mick for now.
It's Mick Foley. Okay.
I just love the character, you know.
Yeah,
Person.
absolutely.
I don't
No,
give
yeah,
a damn.
yeah.
I don't give a damn what Terry Bollea does on his life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and that's fair. That's fair. Hulk Hogan didn't say these horribly racist things. Terry Bollea did.
You know what
That's
makes it
like a
fucked up?
mind.
You know what makes it fucked up is that Hulk Hogan and Terry Bollea. I'm pretty sure he died like Batman. You know, like Bruce Wayne died. Like there's just Hulk Hogan left.
Every single day he's just
He puts on the bandana. He said bro, there's footage of him like at his son's being picked up by the police and he's full gimmick. He's got the fanny pack, he's got the bandana on, he's calling the officer brother. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
I wish we had that right now. I would love to hear that.
All the times Hogan's been in court, that means the stenographers had to type brother in there multiple times.
Oh,
brother.
I saw him sticking needles in his ass, brother.
Oh,
All right. So we're gonna move on to the next match that we had here on the card, which will bring us back up to the main event. But Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell taking on Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark. Baszler and Stark picked up the victory here in 7 minutes. I feel like they keep getting jammed into this pre-main event spot
for some reason.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, last week wasn't it also?
Yep.
Wasn't it the same? I'm flipping back.
It was Knox and Natalia last week.
You're right, but it was Baszler and Stark still. They were still in that pre-main event slot. But hey, picking up wins. I do like the team of Baszler and Stark. It actually makes sense. Like so many tag teams feel hastily thrown together. Looking at you, Tegan Knox and Natalia Neidhart, but Baszler and Stark, they make sense. And with that MMA background, and they have an interesting dynamic where it's very they kind of hit each other in appreciation of one another. Like after match, kind of like the shoulder bumps, and I dig them. Gentlemen, what did you think of the match itself?
So Hulk Hogan, you know, it was a solid match. I'm glad to see more of this division, but at the end, this tag team division stopped the push of a solo ring performance. So Stark. So I'm happy with now she's in tag team with Shayna Baszler, and I want to see more of what's the name of the past champ, the wife of Zack Ryder.
Oh, Piper and Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. Yeah, Chelsea Green. You know, and it's fine.
Honestly, I'm gonna be that guy, but all of us can kind of agree. Can we stick it back to 2 hours for the night, and then put these girls on the middle of the show? Closer to the first hour.
That's one of those pointless hopes because
I know
that's like hoping that the ocean doesn't wet you when you stick your hand in. Watch
me, I'll be right back.
Way too much money, dog.
Up here it's frozen.
Depending on where Raw lands, I mean, there's a slim chance it could be popped back to 2 hours. But
then you know what happens, right? The universe will balance itself because we're SmackDown going once the contract with Fox is up.
USA.
There you go. 3 hour SmackDowns coming soon.
Same thing, same channels up here in Canada, so it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. Right.
Same channel, Mexico. So.
We just have to change channels. We just have to change screens. That's it.
Well, we get picture-in-picture during commercial for some matches, though. So
yeah, you really want picture-in-picture with an Ivar match? Exactly.
So during the match, we had Caden Carter and Katana Chance were down there. Oh, sorry, I want to pop back to Edward. Something you said. You kind of seemed to lament a bit that Zoey Stark is out of the singles picture right now, and I agree with that. I think she's going to be a big singles star. I don't think she was quite up to the task when she had her match with Rhea, but it's just she's still very new to the main roster. But that singles division right now at the top is very crowded, and I think they have a very clear idea of where they're going for the next probably 6 to 8 months with that. So I do think that like being in that tag match, this is a good holding place for Zoey, and a good place for her to continue to kind of hone her craft. And once things become a little less cluttered there in the singles division, move her that way. But we had Caden Carter and Katana Chance were down there. After the match, they were jumped by Damage Control, plugging and setting up for their match this coming Friday on SmackDown, which will also be covered by Dirt Sheet Radio Rewinds.
Woo! I got one for you. Do we see the belts changing hands?
Yes.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay. Now would that contribute to the fracturing of Damage Control?
I was gonna say, I think Bailey's gonna fuck up somehow, trip somebody by accident, something. It's gonna be heartbreaking. I'm so sorry. I distracted the ref at the wrong time. Like something.
He tripped over my ass.
Leading right into her
Give him a
win.
hug.
I tried to distract him, but the sound of the clapping of my booty cheek.
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't sneak up. It just
I simply couldn't
It
sneak up
hurt.
behind them.
You don't have a clip of that?
uncut.
Not we can have on this.
Uncut,
We
uncensored.
can show on this side. That's for sure.
Ding dong.
One
Good
match.
Good times. But
Oh,
but yeah, guys, that brings us back up to the main event. That's Raw in a nutshell. I mean, this was the go home show for the Royal Rumble. Saturday night's gonna be a good time. But we'll let this bring us around to our jobbers of the night. Yeah, all right. Gentlemen, I'm gonna take the start on this one here. This I think is the first time I've actually picked this individual as a jobber of the night, but I apologize a little to him, but I'm going with Damian Priest. I'm going with Priest. I feel like Priest's booking has just made him look not super strong, and maybe that's the swerve. Maybe we're getting really close to that cash in. I say it's happening every week, and it fucking doesn't. But maybe we're getting really close to that cash in, and they're making him kind of go on a little bit of a loose streak. It's real. But I feel like his booking's making him look pretty weak. It's another week without a cash in. What are you doing, Damian? What are you doing? Turn face. Maybe I won't pick you as jobber again, but Damian's my jobber of the night. Eduardo, who do you have?
My jobber of the night is Valhalla. She never does anything, and the first match we see this character, she lost. So a great comment. Yeah. So
What the fuck was that?
a great
Don't
comment.
ever do that again. That's disgusting. Jesus Christ.
I don't know. So that's my jobber of the night, Valhalla.
All right, Caesar, who do you got?
I don't know. Honestly, it was a pretty steady show, and a lot of things happened. Like, it's hard to pick sometimes. Like, I mean, the one idea I was gonna say, just to be like easily picking, is that table for getting destroyed during the tag match at the beginning with New Day and Imperium, because that was, they're getting rougher and it's getting crazier. But I don't know. I don't want to be like, okay, this person. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be like forced to pick a thing. But for now, the table in that match, that's all I can really say. I can't. I don't want to force an answer.
Fair enough.
That's all I got, really.
All right. So, well, then we'll wrap it around this way. And since you were last on the jobber, Caesar, who do you have as your mega star of the night?
I'd say mega stars.
Oh,
if I was going to really say.
Okay.
Because I think it was you or John that had said it earlier, is about the whole long-term booking of these two, and they're actually giving them like, here's a little bit of like a starting capita to get something cooking, and then we'll wait a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit. Was the whole feud, the promo with Cody and Punk. Like they put a little bit out there. They said, here's a little bit of an appetizer. We'll cook some more, give them like a month or two, bring it back around. So that was pretty sweet to watch. But again, like you guys said, the crowd wouldn't say too crazy, but they were still like kind of like on their seats, but they weren't like, oh my god, this is happening. So that's just my take on that one. That's what I'd go with.
I go with 3 gentlemen.
Ooh.
Of course, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. They just need. They was the best of the show, the most epic segment of the show. But there's another person that I think
who is
is
that?
a megastar, and that's R-Truth.
Ah, that's what I was thinking too. As you were saying it.
What's up?
What's up? You know, if there's no Truth, no Punk, and no Cody Rhodes, this program of Raw is a waste of time.
It's so bad because Truth didn't do much, but he's so over tonight.
And he's so good. Yes. Everything he does, he's so good at it. You know, even that flip into the ring, the way he cascaded those dollar bills as he was flung into the ring, just beautiful. The man's an artist.
Art.
Can we get Truth on the show once?
I would love to speak with R-Truth. I would love to. For my megastar, I actually had again, I feel like we're all picking kind of multiple folks tonight. But one, even though he lost, I'm saying Chad Gable is one of my picks tonight. God, that suplex, just fantastic. Chad Gable is a phenomenal athlete, an amazing professional wrestler. Like,
yes,
you know, his charisma, I think, I'll say, is a hair limited. You know, he's not quite as charismatic as someone like Kurt Angle. He gets a lot of comparisons to Kurt.
Oh,
I think that's fair. Yeah. But he's very, very good. You know, and it's just I really would like to see a serious singles push for him. Again, that's why I was a little disappointed that he lost tonight. But I think there's some big things on the horizon for Chad Gable. You know, I've said this a couple times. I think he will be beating Gunther for the IC title, and I think he'll go on a tear there. You know, but that is one. Yeah. Absolutely. God, yes. We need I need that to happen. I want that to be a WrestleMania moment for him. But so that's one. And then my others were the New Day. Just because as earlier, as stated, like I love the more, serious, straightforward version of the New Day that is just a little more hard hitting, a little more focused on winning the match and not, skipping around and, wearing unicorn horns. Not that I don't love that New Day too, but they had to do something. They had to start to evolve the gimmick because you really just hit a wall. And I'm glad to see them evolving. And for that, they're one of my megastars tonight.
Also, we have for the next Raw, a match between Jey Uso and Big Bronson Reed.
Big Bronson Reed.
Just for
which I mean, I don't know who goes over in that. Is that a match that Jey Uso wins?
Jey Uso, of course.
Which sadly just kind of continues to define down Bronson Reed.
It kind of stinks here, guys. I don't know what to tell you. He kind of sucks here. I don't know what's up. I don't know if he's been given the right. I don't know how many different things you can give somebody before you have to say, "I'm sorry, you've ruined this opportunity."
Right.
Come back next time. That's where I'm at with Bronson.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate because he's really talented. He's got a lot of charisma. He's great on the mic. He's fantastic in ring, like phenomenally athletic for his size.
I don't think.
You don't think so? I always thought he was pretty solid on the mic. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just because of the accent. Maybe the accent does it. That's why I don't.
But in the ring is great.
He's incredibly athletic for a dude his size too. But I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of a no-win situation booking wise because you really can't have Jey lose to him, and having Bronson lose, just like I said, continues to kind of define him down as that lower mid-card act that just again, kind of like Nakamura, just kind of has programs to lose them. I still think that Nakamura is probably, a rung or two above him in terms of where he's booked on the card, but it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for him. But gentlemen, anything else on tonight's Raw?
Nope. No, I got
I'm scared about the Rumble because this show was so down.
We'll see what they do Friday. With them having technically 2 go-home shows, they might put a little more gasoline on Friday night. There probably will be some Raw superstars that head over to the Blue brand on Fox this week. But and gentlemen, I'm sure this is going to be talked quite a bit about this coming week. But any predictions going into Saturday? This is the last time we, the 3 of us, will talk until next Monday night. But any predictions on Saturday's show?
I think we will see the final of the Rumble between Punk and Rhodes. Maybe I want to see Dwayne. Maybe just a promo. I don't know, something. I want to see
any chance Rock's in the Rumble.
I could see it.
I can see it too.
Well, like he's on what is it, like just a show up basis whenever he feels like it. So you never know, he could just pop up
if you smell.
I want to see the winning of Bailey, Mommy Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey.
And I want to see the match, the Fatal 4-Way. I'm very interested.
Yeah, that's still happening. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's kind of sad.
Yeah, we have just only 4 matches. Oh,
well, because you got to think the with there being 2 Rumbles on the card. What is it? Do we know if they're doing 90-second intervals or 2-minute intervals?
Probably 90-second.
I guess
okay.
90
because that speeds it up. So but you're still probably looking at about an hour.
Yeah, so
roughly per
on
match.
a 4-hour show.
Yeah. So I mean those will fill a lot of time.
There might be at most like those 2 matches plus like 4 extra matches and that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 matches.
I want to see Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I could see him showing up. I could see that.
I want to see Andrade. Maybe. I hope so.
Yeah.
He could show up and just show up, right? But
yeah,
obviously he won't be called Andrade El Idolo. We know the real name he's going to get called by.
Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah,
if they know what's good for them. Because he lost those last names and that really sucked.
That was so I seriously hate when he was with NXT as like the full name, I thought that was wicked. He was a good champion, good wrestler. He went to Maine and they're like, oh, here's Andrade, and I'm like, wicked. Just everything.
Vince hated last names. I don't know why. Like Big E was Big E Langston. Like
was that his actual last name or was that just like a?
Man, I'm not sure.
Okay,
but like when he hit up to the Maine, like it was like. Get rid of the last name. Like,
okay, come on. Big E sounds cool though. Like,
do you think we will see Okada?
No.
He will be on TNA. No.
TNA.
No, because
he would never go back to TNA after what they did to him last time he was there.
No, doesn't his contract end like the 29th though?
I'm not sure.
I think I know someone posted it on the page that said like his contract ends like the 28, 29. So maybe
I kind of I don't know. I keep going back and forth because it's like I feel like this is Okada would be more important to Tony Khan.
Oh yeah,
he would be to Triple H. I think Triple H would absolutely love to have Okada in the WWE. Okada has stated at some point that one of his dreams in wrestling is to main event a WrestleMania, which makes sense. I doubt there are very few people that get into wrestling that don't want to main event a WrestleMania, but I think he would mean more to Tony Khan, and so I feel like if money is a major factor for him, he's more likely to end up in AEW.
Oh.
I like what you're saying because there's truth to that. But I also one of my concerns with him, if WWE was his destination, is that when it comes to television, you have to introduce the character to the audience, right? And you have to establish the importance of the character immediately. With somebody like Okada, if they were to bring him in, they would need to immediately establish him as being on the same level as like literally fucking Cody Rhodes and fucking Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Like, he needs to sit up there off the back. And I don't know if the WWE has room to do that. But then I don't know. The thing that I think gives AEW the advantage is kind of that the audience already, you don't have to introduce him as that, because they kind of already know him as that. So you can use him like Brock Lesnar almost.
Right.
You bring him in, they know he's a big deal. You use him for the program, get it out. I don't know if WWE can do that, because you have to take time to establish him on television. And it's like, do you have room to establish Kazuchika Okada as fucking Cody Rhodes level, like right now? Where could you do that? If
they debuted him in the right city, could
that always helps. But like Taz debuted in the right city in the Royal Rumble in 2000, right?
And just shellacked Kurt Angle.
Yeah, and then they go to fucking Bumblefuck Louisiana next week, and you don't have the same effect.
Yeah.
You're gonna say something, Eduardo. I feel like I cut you off.
No, it's a problem with this type of wrestlers. And I have another question, because I don't watch AEW. I'm sorry, but
blasphemy.
What happened with MJF?
He is hurt. He's got a bad hip. He's got a bad shoulder. There was the big thing about the bidding war of 2024, right? And then WWE realized that he wasn't reaching out to them. And they were like, this motherfucker is going to try to use us in a storyline. Like, he's not coming over here. That was their feeling about it. So they put it out to the journalists, like, we don't believe that he's coming over here at all. So they kind of popped a balloon of whatever he was trying to do, like with that bidding war thing. So instead of leaning on that WWE thing he was trying to do, they kind of just took him off TV. So now the fans can speculate and feel, if they still remember the WWE thing, then maybe he'll show up at the Rumble or whatever. Right. But ultimately, he's more than likely signed with AEW. And even if he wasn't, he was like broken. Like right now, like I don't know if he'd be okay to show up in the Rumble beyond like to wave, do a promo or something. And even then, he's got the bad shoulder, so he can't wave. So I don't know. Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
But he doesn't have he doesn't have a contract with AEW.
No, I think he does. I think there's nobody knows for sure, right? Because what he has said publicly was that he did. But it was WWE that tried to kill the idea that he was even going to negotiate with them. And since they did that, that kind of implies that he's probably re-signed with AEW or if he didn't do it already, he probably did it a long time ago. But we don't know. Like, nobody knows for sure. That's always a good thing in wrestling. If you don't know, then you can do some cool surprise shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we will see.
Yeah, it's today. It's an exciting time to be a fan, especially this time of year, and the next few weeks and months will definitely be telling and always exciting. Gentlemen, go ahead, Aurora.
I have another question. Sorry.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Damn it.
We have a post-show rewind for Impact.
We have been trying. I need a second person. Matt. I can't pronounce it. I don't want to fuck up his last name live in front of. But our boy Matt, member of the team, wants to do it. He subscribed to Impact Plus. He's ready to go.
Plus.
That's beautiful, because now you and Matt can sit and we can do the Impact stream. Because all he needed was a second guy. We had a second guy, and then he was like, "Oh, I can't."
But what do you think about the new program of Impact?
I think it's a great time to do a post show for them, because they did the pay-per-view, they hit it out the park, they got all the buzz they wanted. They did the next show, they had the Ospreay Alexander match, which, by the way, on YouTube, if you haven't seen that, one of the best matches of 2024 so far. Great shit.
The Scott D'Amore promo after too.
Yeah, you know what? He was very passionate. I thought he was going to catch a heart attack.
I saw that.
I was like,
he was just going hard.
I think he's going to die. No, so like you know, they hit it out the park at the first episode of Impact. Next week they got Kazuchika Okada teaming up with the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah,
like,
I saw.
They are on a roll right now. I think this is a great time for TNA.
Yeah,
they got Nick Nemeth. I said it before. I don't remember which show. There's so many shows now, but I said before that there was a long time where if you left WWE and you went to TNA, it felt like, you know, saw such a downgrade, like you fucking stink.
Yeah.
Like right now, at this point in time, it does not have that stigma. It felt good to see Dolph Ziggler and Nick Nemeth show up in TNA. It felt real good. I think this is like if Will Ospreay had chosen to go to Impact, I think it would have put them over to the next fucking level. I almost felt bad watching the match against Alexander because I was like, you know what, this would have made me tune in every fucking week.
Well, and the you know, as far as Nemeth popping over, I don't have the numbers up in front of me, but I know that the clip of him coming back at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view has done a killer number of views on YouTube. So like he's already getting, you know, kind of getting those viewer dividends for him. So, you know, he could actually be a little bit of a needle mover for him too. And it'll be interesting to see him get to be a little bit more of himself, although I always assumed a lot of Dolph's characterization. It'll be good to get to see Nick Nemeth wrestle with a name that's not a terrible fucking name.
I was just really disappointed that he left WWE and his first matches are like, yeah, Moose and Zack Ryder, and I was like, fuck, like, god damn it, these are the same kind of matches he was having before he left. I want to see him working the Mike Baileys and the Ospreys and the guys who can go and show me a new Dolph Ziggler that I didn't get to see in the WWE. That's what I want to see. I have always known he's had it in him. I want to see on unhandcuffed wrestling Nick Nemeth.
It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
Oh yeah.
What about Nick Nemeth and Trey Miguel?
Yeah, no, absolutely. In Impact, there's so many different combinations. I'm still mad that New Japan teased him teaming up with his brother, and then they were lying.
Oh, I know. I saw that
because I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, it gives Ryan something to do. Like he could use this rub a lot. Like he really could have used being in a tag team.
Unless I'm like oblivious and I didn't see anything. Is there anything still going on with the whole Nemeth and Finley program, or did that just kind of go off?
Yeah, they're getting ready to have a title match. I think in Chicago, if not in Japan. I have to double check. I don't think it was announced for Chicago, and then they already sold out, so they might just they might just be like, all right, we'll have that in Japan or something. You know, like if it wasn't already announced. But I am excited, and I think Impact is at a great place right now, and it would be a perfect opportunity to start an Impact post show.
Imagine if we had the tools.
I know, crazy.
Who would have thought this wacky idea?
That just happened live for everyone.
Live. Hey, sometimes the folks get to see how the sausage is made, and that's how it's made.
It's disgusting.
Welcome to the sausage show. No, wait, no.
DSR Sausage Fest. There you go.
No.
Oh, God, Sausage Fest 2024. Let's go.
Just throw in TNA Impact in there as the title name and make it a pay-per-view. There we go. Let's just start.
Yeah, you're gonna get a suit.
Just throw a bunch of shit in there.
We should probably go home.
All right, gentlemen. We'll do our sign off here real quick. So Caesar, we'll start down there with you this evening. Caesar, where can the folks find you, and where will we see you next, my good sir?
Next week, of course, for the Raw recap after Rumble next week. You'll see me there. You'll see me also on the Wednesday with the Dynamite crew, sitting with those guys discussing AEW Dynamite. And as always, below me is the social thing. There you go. It's on the social media, social platforms. I'm not naming every one of them because there are way too many now. It's at NoobTube. And of course, next week I'll be sitting with these two fine gentlemen discussing the Raw after Rumble with who knows who for winners and champions. Gentlemen, your turn. Take it away.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here another week. We'll see who the winner of the Rumble is. And if you go to the Rumble, maybe we can see it there. I'm sorry for being a fan of Hulk Hogan. And
Dude.
Stop me.
You're allowed to be
I'm sorry for being a
I say this.
Interim.
I say this, right? I always say this. When it comes to wrestling, I think wrestling has different rules, right? Because they got Velveteen Dream doing an interview with Chris Van Vliet, right? And half the people are like, I can't believe, not even half, I'd say like a quarter of the people are like, I can't believe he's doing this. But like 75% of the people are like, I can't wait to see what he has to say. And I think this is a great redemption story. I'm like, but he was talking to a child. You know what? It's like pro wrestling has different rules. You shouldn't feel bad for loving Hulk Hogan because I promise you, the majority of the people still do. Like, we're probably a majority who feel this way. Like, this is probably like the minor take.
Stick to your guns.
I'm sorry. I'm a Thunderlip guy.
Hulkamania. I'm gonna put that in your thing.
The ultimate male. Thunderlips.
So maybe the next week you will see the two here with the sign of the Hulk.
All right.
Hell
yeah.
And of course,
Maybe.
Tyler.
All right. So as always.
Yeah, brother.
No,
this
is a rough AI, brother.
No, the Stone Cold one is worse, I'd say.
But as always, I am Tyler, the pro wrestling hipster, the original pro wrestling hipster. As we discussed, the OG, and the only one as far as I know. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, at PW Hipster, Twitter, IG, Threads, the pro wrestling hipster. No. I don't think anybody would want to see that. I mean, it's basically just videos of me complaining about the Viking Raiders. That's
watch you actually make money off of that. That'd be the weirdest thing ever.
That would be lovely.
Hey, fast before we go, here's a little bit of breaking news. It's a tiny bit. Kevin Patrick has been removed from the SmackDown team. And,
whoa!
Yeah, people were really not high on him, and there was a report that it was really make it or break it for Kevin Patrick.
I heard that.
I wonder who's going to replace them.
And apparently, he broke it. He did not. He did not make it.
But like that make it or break it time frame, like that was like
that was like 2 weeks ago, like a week ago. He had one SmackDown to get it together. You can do it on Friday, or you can get the fuck out of here.
Well, let's look at where he went.
Is there any beat on who's going to be?
Okay, so I realized actually, Eduardo, you don't have Kevin Patrick, right? You don't have him as a commentator.
No, but in the PLEs.
Oh, okay. You have to watch it in English or live? That sucks.
Yeah. No. I can watch the Spanish.
Okay. Okay, you get the choice.
I prefer
one ear.
That's me. That's me with New Japan. I put it in Japanese, and they have English commentary, but it sounds more familiar to me the other way. You know what I mean? But yeah, no. Kevin Patrick kind of stinks, so I'm not really surprised that this happened. It happens. They bring in these straight-laced dudes, and they hope they can make another Michael Cole. There's like a million. They got like a million Michael Cole clones. I hate that announcing style, but it didn't work. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see who takes the chair on Friday night, I guess.
Live on SmackDown.
But I will be back tomorrow night with CJ and DC Soup for the NXT Rewind. And of course, I'll be back with you fine gentlemen next Monday night. And I believe I will be on the Royal Rumble Rewind show Saturday night. I'm pretty sure I'll be there for that. So it'll be interesting. But gentlemen, it's been a wonderful evening discussing this sport we call wrestling. And thank you to everyone that tunes in live and watches us on delay. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for Dirt Sheet Radio. Have a wonderful night.